It's the Morning Brew with friends. We got a packed house here on a Monday morning. We love it. We got our buddy Greg Frost in with the Mortgage Monday tips. We got friends from the Golden Apple Foundation backstage, and my new friend Ralph Mims, the economic developer from Los Lunas. We'll be back in a couple of seconds on the Morning Brew.
Into the disco scene.
I love our new music. Director Dan has been finding some great jams for us. Right? We need it on the Morning Brew. It's awesome. Between the coffee and the disco, Dan, we are good to go today. I love it. Will you have a good weekend?
I did.
I've had a great one every year for the last 12, 13 years. Since we were in college together, my friends and I have had this annual pilgrimage to the Jemez Mountains. We go out there and just hang out and just have shenanigans in the woods for a couple of days. And it was like our trip that we would do the weekend before school started. All of us graduated, but we still go out and have the tradition in the woods.
Well, those traditions are great.
It is. I guess today...
Any more camping is kind of all about eating, isn't it?
We actually have people who go out and cook for us.
Do you really?
Catered. Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic.
We car camp, and it's not your traditional kind of camping, but we love it. We love every second of it. So, but we're gonna kick it off this morning with headlines that are brought to us by our friends at Tony and Guy Hairdressing Academy. And first things first, you got a chance to watch some football this weekend, didn't you?
I did. My wife's with her grandbabies in North Carolina, so I had the TV all to myself. It was great.
Did you get a chance to see Tim Tebow play?
I didn't get a chance to see him play. I saw the highlights.
Reels?
There weren't a lot of highlights, unfortunately.
Right. So Tim Tebow, just refreshing everybody's minds here. Tim, 2 years ago, he left the league, and then the Eagles brought him back and said, hey, we'll give you another shot at this. He's still a big star, but he didn't really perform that well yet. He finished the game 6 for 12 for 69 yards with no touchdowns, but no interceptions, which is good. He also ran 4 times for 15 yards. So you're the football guy. Greg played football for UNM. What does that mean? It just means it's just little throws?
Well, yeah, they were short passes, and he's always been able to complete the short pass. The rub on him is his action and his throwing and getting the ball off crisply down the field. And he didn't get a chance to showcase that.
Well, maybe next week.
I hope so. He's a very talented guy. Yeah. There's 32 teams in the league. I can't believe he's the 65th worst quarterback in the NFL.
I doubt that. Do you know who they're playing next week? I have no idea.
No, I don't.
We'll have to look that up. Yeah. We'll have to figure it out. See if there's somebody that he has a chance to
We need to follow him, see how he does.
No doubt. Maybe we'll make that the Morning Brew mission
there you go.
This football season, just see how he does. And then I love this, too. After 54 years, finally, the U.S. is opening an embassy in Cuba. That's the first time the American flag is officially flown on the island in 54 years. And I love the photos. I was scrolling through, and just the island looks so beautiful this time of year. It looks amazing. And finally normalizing relations with Cuba, I think it's just very interesting, and I'm fascinated to see what happens because of it, and also because I want to go there on vacation.
Well, I'd like to as well. I almost went on a religious mission. I helped build a church in Cuba with donations one year, and they invited me to go on a religious mission. And there's been people going every year, various ways to get there.
Right.
And I couldn't fit it into my schedule, and I was really upset because I really thought it would be quite an adventure.
Right, no doubt. Well, now that things are changing, though, it will never be the same again,
No, American capitalism and commercialism will come, and it's going to be far different, I'm sure.
Right. And then, so this I love, speaking of capitalism in America, Sesame Street is now moving to HBO. This is amazing. I think this is a really interesting thing. And a lot of people are really upset that Sesame Street got, bought essentially by HBO. And HBO is going to get to the first runs of all these series. And it's really sad because you think about the Children's Workshop and it being this grand nonprofit of children's education, right? But what I found out, I think this is really interesting. HBO is paying so much for the rights to the show that local PBS stations are going to get it for free.
They're going to get it for free, and also the backstory is that they were losing their funding from the public sector.
Right.
And so the show was in jeopardy of a decline in quality.
Right.
So HBO really came to the rescue here, and it's people should embrace it, not be worried about it.
Right. And I think it'll be very cool to see what happens.
Oh, yeah.
I'm wondering if there's going to be more HBO parodies. More Gang of Thrones parodies now. And then North Korea, I mean, is again threatening the U.S. These guys are again saying they're going to take on the world. I love these guys. I just love this. This is like so much fun to me. These guys are just saying, we have the biggest army in the world and we're going to take on everybody, and we don't even know what they've got.
They can't keep the lights on.
They can't even keep the lights on. They've got one little internet connection, and half the country's starving still.
Oh, it's awful.
It's awful. And so I can't wait to see like really what happens.
So North Korea's on dial-up?
They pretty much. I think they got a 14.4 baud modem, Dan.
Oh, that'll do.
Yeah, right.
You just have to wait.
Right, and just as the lines come scrolling one at a time on the computer screens, right?
That's why they're so angry.
That's right. They're frustrated.
Internet speeds are too slow here. That's what they're mad about. And they say they have a nuclear deterrent now, whatever that really means.
Deterrent from what?
Right, that's what I'm curious about.
Who wants that place?
Right?
Who would fight for North Korea?
Right? And then finally, this in the headlines, you ever just pick up the copy of the Farmer's Almanac, the old Farmer's Almanac?
Yes, I do, as a matter of fact.
Right? And they have it at the grocery store. And I always thumb through them while I'm waiting, and I love them. But the new one is out. For the weather forecast for the winter is out. And they're saying that this year's winter is going to be cold, and wet.
It's spot on. It's
Yeah.
what everybody's been telling us about the wet summer and the wet spring.
Right.
And it just stands to reason that it's going to cycle into a wet, cold winter.
Right.
It's amazing how that book is.
I don't know how they do it.
How they do it either.
I wish we get somebody from the old Farmer's Almanac on the Brew so we could talk about how they do these predictions.
That would be
Maybe
fun.
just somebody from the Weather Service.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, I bumped into an actual meteorologist the other day who works for the federal government. I was stunned, shocked, and amazed. I thought it was just the guys on TV were
Right.
meteorologists. And I asked him, I said, with this thing that's happening in the weather this year, any chance of us filling up our reservoirs? He said, absolutely.
That'd be great.
Yeah,
That would
absolutely.
be really great. We could totally use that. We'll be back in a couple of seconds in the Morning Brew. We're going to talk all about mortgage banking and some of the great stuff happening in that world. Just a couple of seconds in the Morning Brew.